Hello and welcome to the International Pentagon Challenge. My name is Kyanite and together we'll be embarking on a very special Football Manager journey where we'll aim to try and win every major international competition in all 5 continents, forcing our hand to play with hundreds of different types of players and most importantly hopefully create loads of awesome different types of tactics along the way. Once that's complete, only then are we allowed to set our sights on the biggest of all goals, the FIFA World Cup. How many nations will we have to manage until we work our way to the top? How many dodgy names will we have to pronounce along the way? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of the International Pentagon Challenge. Oh, what a journey it's been so far at the African Cup of Nations. Group D. Each and every single one of us going into this final game are on 2 points. Ghana top it on goal difference, we're second, Algeria third and Zimbabwe are fourth. And in a way, if we had beat Zimbabwe, we would have been in such a comfortable position right now. We'd have been on 4 points. Ghana will have drawn against us, meaning they would have been only on 2. Yeah, it would have been very different, but we do play Algeria now. We have basically scouted them and taken a look at how we think they will play. Now, from a positive perspective, they too only drew against Zimbabwe and drew against Ghana. They've conceded less goals than we have so far this tournament, but we didn't concede against Zimbabwe. So, I mean, it depends which way you want to look at it, but we've got a better goal difference than they do at the moment because, well, we've scored 3 and they've only scored 2. So a 0-0 draw would do us just fine, unless Zimbabwe managed to beat Ghana, which would be catastrophic for all of us. But hopefully that would still mean we'd go through, because Ghana would then have their goal difference decreased. So I'm not going to go into that level of details. Sorry if I sound a bit strange. I've got blocked nose, I'm ill and all that, and my volume might be a little bit lower than usual. And, I mean, I know when we tried this against Morocco it didn't end too well, but I have actually tried to counteract Algeria a little bit. And that's partly down to the fact that Angola is injured, and partly down to the fact that a draw would do us fine. And the fact that, as we saw against Ghana, we were a little bit too open at the back. So I do feel like getting the extra man in midfield should hopefully help us retain the ball a little bit better. We're going to start off with a mixed passing directness. Our defensive line will start off slightly deeper. I'm not sure if it's going to be Slimani up front or Sudani. I'm not entirely sure who it will be just yet. But Mahrez is going to be, or Mahrez is going to be lurking. So Paizio is told to defend basically, and Bella's been brought back onto support. Now Bella's been a crucial player for us in terms of qualification. It's mainly been Geraldo who's been getting opportunities so far, and he did get the goal, to be fair, that allowed us to draw against Ghana. But it is going to be Bella who starts because he impressed me getting the assist, and to be fair, bar getting that tap in, Geraldo hasn't exactly been great, so Bella gets the nod. Gelson Dalla, who's now the top goal scorer for Angola ever, apparently, thanks to my management, starts up front, so hopefully that's a mental boost for him. Morale is looking all nice and green. But other than that, it's just mainly changing that defensive forward into Belito as an attacking midfielder who's a decent player technically. Actually, I mean, it looks a bit shit technically, but in terms of his position, what we want him to do with 11 dribbling, 11 long shots, 12 passing, 14 technique is not too bad for what we want him to do. Bastos is still looking a little bit tired, so he could come off at half-time for a Malho. But really the idea is just to employ our usual approach, but a little bit more toned down on the passing directness and on the tempo and whatnot. We'll tweak as we go along. So let's head straight into the game. It is going to be Slimani who starts up front. I'm not sure how much information we have about him. He still plays in the Premier League, 33 years old. I'd imagine he's not as fast as he is in real life at the moment. Adam Unas on the left wing. So he's going to be a winger, whilst you'd expect Mahrez to really be an inside forward. Still plays for Leicester, which is quite nice. Ben Talib. Does he still play for Southampton? Bologna? Well, I mean, he played for Southampton a very long time ago, so I'm not quite sure what I'm still questioning whether or not he still plays for Southampton. Roulam looks like... Does he still play for Napoli? No, PSG looks like he's going to be the most forward-thinking player. in terms of that back four. So that could be space we could look to exploit with Mata. We'll have to wait and see. Whilst Mandy will have to deal with Jeremy Bella, and that's not really great news for us. He's going to be more defensive. But again, 0-0 would do us just fine. So, yeah. It does look like they've gone for two relatively kind of unknown options at centre-back. I mean, I've not really heard of these guys. This guy just plays in Algeria. And this guy... Well, this guy plays for Lyon. Actually, to be fair, this guy's probably pretty decent if he plays for Lyon. But, you know, maybe, just maybe, that's something we can look to exploit. Khadiara, 187 centimetres. Not the tallest of goalkeepers, so maybe that'll bode well with our crossing game. We'll have to wait and see. I am wary of the fact that Belito is now in this attacking midfield position where Tyder might cause him problems. But let's wait and see. They score most of their goals just before half-time, so that will be something we'd look to adapt for. So it's kind of self-explanatory. We want to go in hard on basically their three better players, I think. And yeah, we're going to try and get Mahrez on his right foot when possible. But at the end of the day, when you're up against Mahrez, there's only so much you can do. So just looking to really tackle him hard, try and hurt him as well. As we can see, Slimani isn't exactly feeling great too. But I don't want to tackle him hard because he's a pretty big guy. So we'll probably manage to, you know, get through it. And we don't want to give away too many free kicks in that final third. So let's kick off and see what happens. It's, I mean, whatever happens, I think we can be proud of the draw against Ghana, 3-1 down and turning it around. But I guess we'll be very frustrated with the Zimbabwe result, where, let's be honest, we really should have won, shouldn't we? What's important for me now is that we look like we're having a decent amount of possession. I don't want to look like we're defending too deep either, but sometimes you kind of have to when you're up against Mahrez and whatnot. An early goal would be amazing for us. Well, to be fair, any kind of goal without conceding would be amazing for us right now. Oh, okay. We've been handed a corner on a plate towards the head of Da Costa. Mata now on the edge of the box is going to find Gelson, who could shoot from here. He tries to whip it in. Maybe we should have shot there. You know, striker and all that. Especially considering, you know, that he's come into this as Angola's top goal scorer. I mean, what a way to make him love you even more. When I say them, I obviously mean the Angola fans. So there we go. Ghana are now 1-0 up against Zimbabwe, which, to be fair, was, you know, something we expected to happen. I mean, we're 20 minutes in. They've not really had that many opportunities, possession-wise and passing completion-wise. You know, we're on 84% passing completion, and I'm happy to carry on playing like this. It's comprehensive highlights. We've honestly barely even seen anything yet. 60% possession. This is very unlike us. And once we kind of reach, you know, have a shot, the last 10 minutes, I think maybe, I mean, I don't know if it's worth trying to tweak, because like I said, most of their goals come just before half-time. I mean, to be exact, after the 30th minute. You see that moment where I looked down at my notes and realised I'd totally messed up? Okay, so... Okay. We're now in a position where we need to score. So... Matondo's going to come on. I mean, it's a big game for him to try and make a difference in. I'm not going to lie. But... he fits the system. We're going to be going a lot more direct now. I think that's been one of our main issues with Angola, to be honest. I was kind of hoping to get out the group stages, and I feel like actually finishing top of our group in the qualifiers has actually come to bite us in the ass a little bit. Getting both Ghana and Algeria in our groups. We're going to look to exploit the right flank, up our tempo a little bit, be more expressive. We're at a point now where... we need goals, and I need to stop trying to be conservative and whatnot, and understand that we are in a do-or-die situation. We know that Ghulam's going to be looking to get forward a fair bit, so if we can look to exploit the right-hand side, try and play balls forwards towards Gelson and, you know, towards Clinton Mata, there's space to exploit. We're talking about space to exploit. That's exactly what Algeria have right now. Could have been a good tackle there, actually, but yeah, wasn't quite enough in the end. And defensively, we're now bottom of the group. But I feel like this Algeria game is quite a misleading one. Because I don't know how their managers managed to get them only 60th in the world. They are a really, really good team. And to be honest, we've not exactly looked much better since switching back to the usual 4-4-2. I've got it written down here. They scored most of their goals after that 30th minute. And go on. I tell you what, these cup games are a lot easier in my FM17 Blackburn save. Go on. Go on, Mata. Good ball. Gelson now. Just float this in nicely. That's why sometimes the diamond feels like a better option. You have someone just lurking behind that second striker. Whereas even if that ball had actually gone into the box, you'd have only really had Matondo to aim for. Bella's not really shown much, has he? And given that it's 2-1, given that we need to go more direct, I think, hey, Geraldo, mate, you scored in the last game to get the equaliser against Ghana. Have you got an equaliser in you for Algeria? That's the question. Ghulam's now on a yellow card, so I'm not sure what his aggression is like. Joachim. Back to Panya. No, okay, that'll do. Well, he's scored a goal, but he was offside. Paizo's not exactly had much luck, so I'm going to try and supplement the middle of the park with him and use an inverted wing back, just see where that takes us. See if it just helps us maybe create a few more chances with him coming more into midfield. Place out wide again. Okay, that side will do. Clinton Mata, Bastos. Oh, come on, someone make a run into a channel. Oh, for God's sake. I don't care if you're a centre-back. Just bloody run into that space. We need a goal. Matondo. Oh, Bastos. Oh, I mean, this is the match engine at its finest. It's probably going to end up in an offside. Da Costa. Penalty, ref? Penalty? Nope. Okay, that was a highlight and a half. Fagouli's actually gone out on the right and Mahrez has come off. The question now is, what substitution do we make? I mean, to be fair, I put him there, but Belito can't be the player that comes on. Alright, Pirolito. Pirolito is coming on. Yeah, I mean, obviously Bastos is looking a bit cream-crackered at the back. But I assume Slimani will start getting a little bit more tired. Slam Zemmouri comes on for them. Two centre mids of ours very tired as well, which is why it was important, given that it's 3 versus 2, for Pirolito to really come on and strut his stuff as well. Nice stuff from Geraldo. He's going to win the ball, should be able to take on his opposite fullback, and it's another corner. We have so many corners, but nothing to show for him. Shoot, shoot, shoot. If we get a goal here, and we sit back on it, it would be not massive, but huge for us. Ginormous. We were very fortunate to get the goal that we did get, but it was a lifeline that we really needed. And it didn't really feel like we deserved to be 2-0 down specifically. Pirolito. Oh. Matondo now, target man. It's time to, I guess, start throwing men forward. 80th minute, 3 up top again maybe. I mean, I'd probably go 4 up top if it let me. Just try and get people in the box for these corners. Oh. That was unlucky. Geraldo, though, in a dangerous position, is going to pass it to the Algerian player. Past few highlights has been all us, but it's just got that feeling about it that it's just not going to materialise. It's got that feeling about it, hasn't it, lads? You know, when passes are misplaced like that, and you just watch the match engine and you think, please, please help a fella out here. Gelson to Mata. He's going to look for Matondo. Threads it through to Geraldo. And he was the man that got the equaliser against Ghana. And it was saved by Khedira. For God's sake, I'm going to change these corners because I think we're going to have a lot more of them coming into the last few minutes. And they've got Slimani on the front post and he just basically clears every single one. So I'm sick of seeing it. I mean, that one's already going to the far post and it's still somehow whacked straight into him. 10 minutes to go. We've got no choice really but to try and make further changes. So, striker, I guess. I mean, I would much rather have Matondo in the middle if possible. Geraldo up here. And him as more of an advanced playmaker on attack. Wing back attack. Wing back attack. Pump ball into box. Take more risks. And now we pray to the football manager gods that there is a goal in us as underdogs against Algeria. It is really, really bit us in the backside that we finished top of our qualification group. It really, really has. Free kicks galore for them at the moment, but we can counter off as if like we play a pass and it just hits their player in the face. Come on, speed it up. Oh, he's getting sent off now. It goes from bad to worse, this. Well, we don't need a defender to score a goal, do we? We most certainly don't. So, I mean, this is painful now, really, isn't it? We don't need to worry about a left back. We need a goal right now. We need balls forwards and players up front to chase. That's good. I mean, you know the target man's on this side of the pitch. Why exactly are you hoofing it over there? There we go. Geraldo. Oh, mate. You got like 188 centimetres of thingy to aim at, and you do a low cross like that. Pirolito. Oh. To have both Algeria and Ghana in the same group as us has really killed us off. And I was kind of hoping to get past the group stages, because I'm not sure, I think it would have increased my reputation a little bit more as a manager. I want a corner and for my goalkeeper to score from a corner. Is that too much to ask for, football manager? No, we're going to concede now. Had to come eventually. Across goal, and there it is. The icing on the cake from the Algerians. And on that note, I think we go to key highlights. The game is done. I mean, Matondo gave us a glimpse of hope, didn't he? And we went into this game needing just a draw, and instead it looks like we're gonna get a whitewash, quite literally, with Algeria wearing white instead. So that's us going home. You know what's fascinating? That Ghana and Zimbabwe drew as well. And Zimbabwe were down to 10 men after 5 minutes. Like, if we'd drawn this game, we would have qualified. And if we'd drawn like maybe 1-1 or 2-2, we could have qualified ahead of Ghana as well. But the fact that we finished bottom of the group is just... I can't fault them, really. It's Algeria. Are we really expected to beat Algeria? Knocked out of Cup of Nations. Criticised for Cup of Nations performance? I don't think so. Angola problems? I don't think so. Like, for me, if we'd lost to Ghana or Algeria after the group stages, then everyone would have been clapping and saying, "Oh, that, you know what? They, yeah, Algeria and whatnot are a better side." I just think we've been extremely unlucky to get Algeria and Ghana in our group. But what's really frustrating is we beat Zimbabwe and we got 4 points and we've qualified. Given how other results went. That's why I said we had to beat Zimbabwe and then get anything we can from the other games. And if you'd offered me a win against Zimbabwe, which was almost a written, and then a draw against Ghana and a loss against Algeria, I would have taken it and would have taken the gamble on trying to qualify with 4 points. But instead we've ended up with only 2. So, I don't think that's a surprise win, to be honest. It says surprising win, obviously based on the fact that we're 31st in the world rankings and they're 66th. But I'm sorry, like looking at some of their players and the individual ability of some of their players, our team is nowhere near as good as Algeria. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. So there it is, guys. We've been knocked out of the African Cup of Nations. I was kind of hoping we'd at least get past the group stages. But let's be honest, when we saw the group, we knew it weren't going to happen. Even though it should have happened if we'd beat Zimbabwe. In a way, it kind of feels like I would have rather had one of the hard teams first. Warm up against them, go into it like with it not being the end of the world if we had lost. We had a lot of players that weren't even match fit for the Zimbabwe game as well. So, yeah. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.